Back when I was a kid, I had two consoles. Both of them were hand-me-downs. One was a Super Nintendo and a PS1. And they were fine, but they were hand-me-downs. They weren't mine. The first console that I ever got for myself was a Game Boy Color. And I got two games. My first game was A Bug's Life, and that game is garbage. That game is garbage sauce. Oh my god, no, no, like what? How did they expect kids to play that? Like, it was ridiculously difficult. But again, I digress. My second game was Pokemon Red. And then from that day on, everything changed. So, welcome to another episode of Frank Yells at the Void. But this time, I'm not alone. This time, I'm here with my buddy Grant.
Hey, Al!
Who was also in a bunch of our videos, and he's also hella dope, and like, Pokemon. So, at the time of this video, Pokemon Go just came out.
3 days ago, oh my god.
And I honestly couldn't think of anything more that I wanted to do was just talk more about Pokemon. Like I follow the Reddit blogs, I have various group chats talking specifically about Pokemon. I can't go to places without being like, is there a gym here? Like, or if it's empty, or if this is like...
what Pokemon can I find here?
I think that's the main...
Yeah, that's the main question. You go somewhere, it's like, what Pokemon can I find here? Well, I have them before. Am I stuck with ground types everywhere because I'm in a desert? What's going on?
Alright, so off the top, I already spoke about a little bit of like how I got introduced to Pokemon, and then, you know, I played Red, Silver, Crystal, Fire Red, Ruby, Pearl, White, X. I didn't play the last few ones or the remakes, but you know, those fine. But yeah, Grant, how did you get introduced to Pokemon?
As far as how I got the game, all I remember, it's vague because it was that far back into the past. I feel like such a crotchety old man right now. All I remember is that I was at this ill-fated electronics store called The Good Guys.
What?
Exactly, it's that old. But I was at The Good Guys, and I saw, like, my brother and I were there with our dad, and we had heard about Pokemon. We had just gotten our own Game Boys. I think it was just after Christmas. I got a Mario game, Justin got a Wario game, because different personalities. I don't remember exactly what. But I just remember seeing Pokemon Red and Pokemon Blue in the display case of this Good Guys. And because blue was my favorite color and red was my brother's favorite color, we just gravitated toward those versions by instinct. I picked Squirtle partially because I felt like I had to, and partially because I saw in that article and on the box that their entire evolutionary line was blue. And just favorite color, that's the version I got, I'm like, done. And then, like, I just remember first encounter in Meridian Forest when I got there, it was a Pikachu. And I'm just like, yes! So I caught the Pikachu. Those two spearheaded my team through blue version, and whenever I could, I would always get that combination. Like a water type starter and either the base electric type or preferably a Pikachu through every game since. Anything Pokemon, I've just found it to be so simple, so engaging. Yeah, the story is a little bit predictable, but at the same time, you're in it to catch the Pokemon. You're in it for the battles.
You are the story, and that brings me to why I believe Pokemon Go, Pokemon Go has been so fantastic, is because after all these years of playing them on Game Boys and just imagining ourselves, because that's what we did. The first thing you do in Pokemon is you choose your name. What's your name again? Your very forgetful grandfather?
A professor who doesn't really know his neighbor and for some stupid reason doesn't even know the name of his own relative.
Yeah. What's my grandson's name again? Like,
this is my grandson. You two have known each other since you were babies. What was his name now? Oh yes.
But yeah, it becomes you. You are the explorer. You're going into this adventure into the world, and you're capturing this Pokemon, and you can name your Pokemon, and you build like these weird relationships. Like I was talking about my Squirtle that I got, like because I'm like, oh, it's not great for the first gym. But then it ended up becoming a Blastoise, and like like the emotional connection that I felt to a digital character, like it's something that I'd never felt in that. Like I've played RPGs before. I was a big Final Fantasy fan. I love 6, I love 9, 10 was my jam, and then it kind of fell off after that. But you know,
Kingdom Hearts when it comes to RPGs, and that has characters in it that every single child forms an emotional connection with.
Oh yeah.
Like if you don't have an emotional connection to some of Disney's most classic characters, I have no words following that. But
or you never saw a movie in your life, and I'm sorry. And how are you watching this if you haven't seen that?
those are words that I could have used, but I just didn't have them. Anyway, like Kingdom Hearts features Disney characters alongside your main protagonist, but I still built more of a connection with Pokemon than I did with being like, oh my god, I'm going on an adventure with Donald and Goofy, what the crap?
Because it's not you going on the adventure. You're playing as Sora, you're playing as Roxas, you're playing as all the other characters that you are able to control in those games. Like, you're going through their stories. This is your story because it doesn't have a big overarching narrative like a Final Fantasy, like those. The barrier to entry is like, you go out and do adventures. So Pokemon Go captured that same idea in people and said, like, let's do it for everybody. All the times that we spend in the video games walking around grass in circles looking for a certain type of Pokemon, like, we're now being able to do this in real life. Like, I ride around on a kick scooter all day because I fucking love my scooter. But now I can do that with my I was about to say Pokedex.
It kind of is a Pokedex, though.
Yeah.
You have a Pokedex, an item manager, and even a Poke Radar from the later games.
I'm just waiting for the moment where you press a button and you show up on a bike. Like, I want those bikes. I want the bikes where you just like, it's not time to use it yet. Like, shut up. It's always time to use it.
And, like, in that, if they added, like, a bike theme from any of the games, like, that would just be, oh my god, so iconic.
Yeah, just be able to switch to music and all that. Take note, Nintendo. Battling, trading, and, like, music
switch.
for
We were talking about potential additions to the battle system.
Yeah.
So if you are in range with a trainer outside of your little team that you choose, because, by the way, you can choose a team.
Team Instinct. Team Instinct. I'm wearing yellow right now. Team Instinct. This is the Nexus WWE shirt. So if you know this, you're dope too. But also, Team Instinct. Get on it. Get on it. We're taking over the world. Slowly. Surely. Hopefully. Don't pick red and blue. Come on, guys. Those are the cool kids. Be different.
Be the special Pikachu edition.
Pikachu edition. Yeah.
Be the special Pikachu edition.
Yeah, you were talking.
But
You were talking to friends yesterday.
yeah, I was talking to my friends yesterday about it. If we introduce the battle system and you come across somebody on a different team, you could just, like, it'd be really cool if they implemented, like, the exclamation point that would pop up above trainers' heads on your screen, and then start playing an encounter music like. And then both trainers would hear it, you'd look up at each other, and then you'd start battling.
Oh man. See, not only do I love this game, and the biggest issue with the game is that it only works 40% of the time, but 40% of the time it works all the time. I actually had a gym battle earlier where I took the opponent down to 1 HP and then it froze. And sadness. But you know what? This is very early on in the life cycle, and hopefully, if you're watching this way in the future, they have fixed it and they have super battles and everything like that.
Hopefully.
One of my favorite aspects of Pokemon Go that is not just the game itself, but also the fact that you can encounter like real people who are just out on their phone. I feel like you can see them from a mile away. They're just like. And and one of the things I really love is the look of recognition. It's just like, you too?
You too, yep.
And it's always a happy thing. Like, yeah, we might be on different teams at the same time, but we're all a part of this Pokemon world. We're all together in our nerdiness, you know. It as widespread of a way as possible. That's taking people outside. When has video games ever forced you, like,
Nintendo, you are, like, with everything we've been saying about things that you should take note on for this game, I just want to give you a slow golf clap right now, because you have single-handedly done the impossible in making nerds want to actively go outside. Like, no, like, stereotypical nerd behavior, that is like I don't know, that's like a cardinal sin.
It's one of the best things about Nintendo products, which makes me so sad about smartphones these days, because one of the biggest issues right now with Pokemon Go is how it just drains all the life, drains all the battery out of your phone, because it takes Wi-Fi, it's building a world around you, it's interacting with modern things, so it's taking a lot of information, a lot of power out of it.
Like the constant use of data when you're outside of your house to maintain a steady connection.
Yep.
Neon Tech's technology, because I've been reading up on it, and it actually provides digital overlays of their Pokemon maps over like the Google Maps version of our real world.
Interesting.
And it reloads every 5 minutes or so, which is, you know, what makes Pokemon encounters seemingly still random, indicating when you're close enough to a Pokemon, things like that. It actually reloads the world every now and again. And that, you know, that's how the encounters are randomized. But all of that processing power, generating the Google Maps with your trainer, being able to access the menus, access Pokemon, use augmented reality to catch Pokemon in the actual real world locations with a built-in pedometer so you can hatch your eggs properly. Can you see why it drains phone batteries so fucking fast?
This is happening in real life now. It's not just like we have crazy stories like we used to have about Pokemon. Just like I remember finding a Lugia for the first time. I remember in my 4th grade journal, I wrote about finding Lugia because when you're 8 years old, this is the best thing. Lugia wasn't the thing, and I'm sure my teacher.
I found Lugia in the cave. It was so much fun. Although I used all of my Ultra Balls and
I actually used my Master Ball, my Lugia, which I kind of regret. But the thing is,
oh come on!
But the thing
there
is,
were roaming legends in that game.
Yeah.
For shame, Doc.
Yeah.
For shame, Doc.
But the thing is, like, I wrote that story in my 4th grade journal, and I can only imagine my teacher reading that and be like, "What
is a Lugia? Is that something you spit?
About? Is this drugs? Are you on drugs? You went into a cave and you did a Lugia?
No,
in your Master Ball?
You found a Lugia and you caught it in your Master Ball? What kind of bullshit slang is this?
Do I need to have a chat with your mother?
No.
No, but I remember having stories about, and now that again, so short after the release cycle, and it's still not working great. Like in this basic form of this game already. Like the stories that I'm hearing from my friends and I'm hearing from Reddit and I'm hearing from it's amazing.
It's only been out for, as we said, like 5 days, and there are already discussions between fans. Like, I really don't want to get into the game until like Gen 2 stuff comes out or Gen 3 stuff. And people are just like, oh, they're gonna release that very soon. And I'm just sitting here like, wait a minute. It's been out for 3 days. Their servers are, dare I say, kind of carp right now.
Garbage.
They're not magic carp. They're just carp. And you're already talking about Gen 2 content on top of the fact that they already came out and said that they are delaying release in the rest of the world because of these server issues. I'm sorry. Get your Gen 2 hype until, just...
Let's fix the one we have now.
Yeah, return your Gen 2 hype to its Pokeball until we have a stable worldwide released game.
Yeah, I'd just like to take a second here and just get a little more real with this because there is a real world that is happening out there, and there's a lot of, especially recently in the past few weeks, a lot of really terrible events, one after the other. And then on top of this, a very confusing and frustrating election. There's just a lot of bad things happening in the world. So for Pokemon Go to be released in the middle of all this,
and to still foster so many, interpersonal positive interactions between people, things that have been happening, like the election, voter fraud, controversy, bigotry from one certain candidate, and then, everything, all of the race-related issues from the shootings, and the fact that there have been so many shootings that much of society is just numb to it now. It's the fact that Pokemon Go single-handedly brings so many people together. Doesn't matter the color, the age, the location. You can tell people are just playing Pokemon Go. You look at your phone, you look at them. Let me guess. Pokemon Go? Yeah. What are you after? I'm like, apparently there's a Rhyhorn nearby. Yeah, I'm looking for that too. And all of a sudden, it's just...
You have a connection. You find it brings a big commonality between all of us when there's so many things that tear us apart. And yes, we can definitely be like, oh, Valor or
Valor, Mystic, Instinct, and any of the teams.
And yes, there's definitely rivalries, and heck, we're about to go fight a gym ourselves.
Yeah.
But it's all in good fun. It's all in good nature. It's a game. It's
a game that thrives on our childhoods, that nostalgia, and just, if anything, on the gaming scene, not just the mobile gaming scene, but the gaming scene in general, can capture like a Disney-esque bringing things back to the childhood.
Yeah.
Pokemon Go is it.
And I think with that, I think we can wrap it up here. Thank you for joining us on Frank Yells at the Void from Midnight Prophet. Thanks for being here. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, share. If you want Midnight Prophet, keep doing stuff. Keep doing it. I do plan on doing more these type vlog type videos because like sometimes I just want to say a few things, and Pokemon Go was definitely one of the things I can't stop talking about. We'll have more videos, more funny things, more serious things coming up. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next Wednesday.